It's everywhere. Doesn't really matter where it's at, hotels to residents, apartments.
The bed bug problem is continuing to grow in Fargo, and when you're traveling during the holidays, that's the easiest time for them to find you. But there are things you can do to make sure you steer clear of them. And tonight, Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has those details.
I think it's growing everywhere. It's consistent. We haven't seen a dip in it.
Lauren Rader has been in the pest control business for about 11 years. He's seen it all and he has had to exterminate it all. But he says bed bugs are growing at an exponential rate. And with many of you traveling for the holidays, this is a perfect season to pick them up.
They're hitchhikers. One person might have it. You go over and visit. Then they pick them up, they bring them back.
And a Fargo resident who wishes to remain anonymous says she had quite the experience with bed bugs. She ended up having to move and get rid of all of her furniture along with most of her belongings.
It's torture. And you kind of get paranoid that they're everywhere you go. And so now I don't stay in hotels. I'm very, very cautious about where I go. And I've been hearing that they're pretty bad in downtown buildings.
So what can you do when you're in a hotel or apartment and wondering if there are bed bugs? Well, Rader says look for them on the bed skirt or the headboard and keep your suitcases off the floor. If you find a series of blue or other dark colored dots on wood or furniture, that's a warning sign.
Lick your finger. I know it's kind of disgusting, but you can just, and if it smears, it's more likely blood from a bed bug.
Now, I contacted several different owners from apartment complexes in the area, and they say if they see a single bed bug, they call pest control immediately. And they do admit, though, that it is the tenant's responsibility to not bring in any used furniture or anything else that could carry a bed bug. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
If you see any signs of bed bugs, you're urged to contact a pest control company immediately. Rader says it's always important to contact them, to never try to get rid of them on your own. He says bed bug bombs are often used to eradicate the bugs, but that makes them spread out even more. And our Arctic air has settled back in. Hutch, at least it's pretty quiet out there.
Oh, it is quiet. We're not seeing much snow, although we did have some flurries late this afternoon in the FM area. Notice skies are clearing. On our Skycam network, taking a look out to the west across eastern North Dakota. We have a wind chill warning in effect from tonight at midnight, and we are expecting wind chills to be in the 40 to 50 below range. For a few areas, we could kiss 60 below for wind chills. It's all because of a northwest breeze at 5 to 15 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour at times. As skies clear tonight, well, we can't even call it frozen tundra. It's beyond frozen tundra. 10 below right now in Grand Forks, 11 below Thief River Falls, 3 below in Alexandria and Duluth. Factor in the winds, and it's already at a wind chill of almost minus 40 in Langdon. Dangerous cold, so make sure that you put that survival kit in your vehicle. If you're out and about in the FM area tonight, no picnic here either.
No.
As temperatures are going to be on their way down into the teens below zero this evening, with overnight lows in the 20 below category for many.
Goodness, thank you. All right, well, a Jamestown teen is recovering after being trapped in his pickup after a rollover crash in Otter Tail County. It happened around 11:30 last night on I-94 in Fergus Falls. The Minnesota Highway Patrol says 19-year-old Luke Bowman was driving too fast for conditions when his pickup flipped and hit the center median cable barrier. Bowman was taken to a Fergus Falls hospital for treatment of his injuries. Now, authorities say he was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. Minnesota State Patrol reports that they've responded to 289 crashes today alone. It's Friday, which means it's time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say Kenneth Russ is wanted for interference with emergency phone call and felonious restraint. Take a look. His picture's up on your screen right now. Call your local law enforcement if you have any information on Russ. And in our schemes and ripoffs this evening, if you're looking forward to starting a healthier lifestyle for your New Year's resolution next year, Fargo police want you to know about a weight loss scam that's making its rounds. The department posted the alert from the Federal Trade Commission on the neighborhood site next door. So if you see an ad promising weight loss in 2018 with no effort, don't be fooled. The truth is those ads that promote products won't deliver on their promises. Be sure to avoid any garment, gizmo, pill, or potion that promises weight loss with little to no effort. It may sound appealing, but in the end, the only thing you're guaranteed to lose is your hard-earned money. A tragic reminder of how serious these weather conditions can be. Police say an 83-year-old woman died from exposure to the cold after crashing her car in eastern South Dakota. Police believe the woman left her car to look for help after crashing on a gravel road near the town of Revillo on Saturday. Revillo lies just west of the Minnesota state line and 115 miles north of Sioux Falls. Police officers found the car first, but with no driver inside. They found the body in a ditch on Sunday and determined she had died of exposure. The National Weather Service says temperatures in the area fell as low as 2 degrees overnight. New York City's fire commissioner says the deadly fire that tore through a Bronx apartment building last night was accidentally started by a toddler playing with his mother's stove. 12 people were killed in the blaze, and another 4 are in critical condition. The fire started in a kitchen on the first floor of the building, but among the tougher news to bear is that it could have been prevented. The fire commissioner said a 3-year-old was playing with the stove burners and then accidentally ignited the fire. His mother then grabbed her children and ran, but then left the door open. That allowed the fire to move quickly upstairs, giving people very little time to react. This was New York City's deadliest fire in decades. President Trump played another round of golf today during his holiday vacation. Only this time, he invited some members of the military to join him at his private golf club. Mola Lenghi is at the White House with those details and another possible shakeup of the West Wing staffers.
President Trump invited members of the Coast Guard to play golf at his Florida club Friday.
The job they did in Texas saved 16,000 people. It's unheard of.
From the 17th green, he took a shot at the media.
They'll say I took a triple bogey, but I actually got a birdie.
The president had more to say to the New York Times reporter who interviewed him at his golf club Thursday. During the interview, he repeatedly denied there was any collusion between his campaign and Russia. And he says special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian meddling is bad for the country. It makes the country look very bad, and it puts the country in a very bad position, he said. And when asked about Mueller himself, the president said, "I think that Bob Mueller will be fair." Mueller's investigation has led to charges against at least 4 of the president's associates and guilty pleas from 2 of them, including former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
General Flynn's firing was the first of many departures from West Wing staffers, and more appear to be coming.
CBS News has learned Chief of Staff John Kelly plans to find a senior-level political strategist to oversee Bill Stepien, the current White House political director.
This level of turnover is abnormal. It's actually setting a record.
34% of President Trump's senior staff has turned over in his first year. George W. Bush was at 6%, Obama at 9%, and Reagan was the closest to Trump with 17%. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
Deputy National Security Advisor Dina Powell has already announced she too will leave early next year. We've got some